Hey, greetings, everyone. Lieutenant Colonel Alan West here, and welcome to the Steadfast and Loyal podcast.
You gotta light 'em up before they burn it down. Better dig deep and put 'em in the ground. Blood on their hands, they're hellbound. Save us all. Ooh, they're gonna burn it down. Save us all before they burn it down.
This past weekend, pretty big weekend, although it didn't turn out great for me, is known as the third Saturday in October. And down south, the third Saturday in October, everybody knows in SEC football country, that means Tennessee versus Alabama. Of course, Tennessee had a meltdown during the second quarter and ended up going into the halftime down 23-7 and ended up losing, I think, 37-20. And so it was not a happy third Saturday in October, but it was happy for my son-in-law because, he is from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and big Alabama fan. So that means that my youngest grandson, Levi, for the next year gets to wear Alabama, gear and all of that and gets to say Roll Tide for a year. That's our bet. Whoever wins the football game, Levi gets to, cheer along. I've had him singing Rocky Top for the past year, and that really did grate my son-in-law Troy in the wrong way. But this past Saturday was also something else that happened that, it just made me scratch my head. Because these old Woodstock, white, progressive, socialist, Marxist, whatever you want to call them, gathering, especially Bernie Sanders out there, this No Kings rally thing. I'm Bernie Sanders and I'm against the oligarchs, even though I have, 3 houses, lake houses, and I have, nice foreign sports cars. But we got to, go after the richest people, but not me. And then there's Nancy Pelosi out there in San Francisco breaking up a, toy crown. See, we already kind of have a No Kings Day in the United States of America. It's called Independence Day, July the 4th, when we told King George III of England that, we don't want to be subjects anymore. We want to be free and independent people. We want to have individual rights, freedoms, and liberties. That's what the Declaration of Independence is all about. But when you looked at these folks that were out there this past Saturday, the third Saturday in October, these were not just everyday Americans. They may call themselves American, but they don't understand the essence of being an American. These were people that, more than anyone else, they follow along the writings not of Thomas Jefferson and James Madison or George Mason or any of those great founding fathers that gave us the longest running constitutional republic that the world has ever known. They follow Karl Marx. They follow Frederick Engels. They follow Saul Alinsky. They follow everything that is the antithesis to who we are in America. They're Marxists. They're socialists, which is the economic model. They are communists, which is the societal model of the centralized government control of every aspect of your life. The redistribution of wealth, the nationalizing of economic production, the creating and expanding of a welfare nanny state. Remember, it was Marx who said, from each according to their ability, to each according to their need. That's who they are. They're all about this social egalitarianism. Equity, which means equality of outcomes, not equality of opportunity, which is the bedrock of the United States of America. And they're all about secular humanism. Because as Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia, who just recently said, and think of this is a guy that could have been our vice president, Tim Kaine. But just in the month of September at a Senate Judiciary hearing, Senator Tim Kaine said that our individual rights don't come from some creator God, God, big G God. He said our rights come from government, little g. That is completely against the natural rights theory of John Locke, the real classical liberal father. That philosophy that Thomas Jefferson studied, which in writing the Declaration of Independence, he said the laws of nature, nature's God, referring back to John Locke and natural rights theory. These people are wackadoodles. But that's who we saw out on the third Saturday in October. Marxist, socialist, communists, statists, domestic terrorists, and Islamic jihadists and Islamofascists. Again, I talk about this red-green alliance. It's amazing how the left in America has found simpatico with Islamic terrorists. And the embodiment of that is Zoran Mamdani. But you can go back to Barack Obama, and that was really an embodiment of this. Never forget that Obama, early on, I believe it was May or June of 2009, when he gave a speech at the University of Cairo, he invited the Muslim Brotherhood members to sit right up front. Founded in 1928, the granddaddy of present-day Islamic jihadism and terrorism. He invited them, President of the United States of America, Barack Hussein Obama, a Marxist socialist himself. But that's what we saw come together on the third Saturday in October, just this past weekend. And how interesting it is that all of a sudden, the leftists and the Islamic jihadists have defined authoritarianism in the United States of America as following the rule of